Okay, so cool. Thank you very much for coming, everyone, to our first ever virtual district awards presentation. I hope everyone can see and hear me. Also on with us tonight is we've got obviously my fellow district commissioner Heather Jones, and we've also got a VIP who almost needs no introduction, but we're going to introduce him anyway. So our county commissioner Richard Williams.
Evening, everybody.
Richard. So what we're going to do is we've got something like 40 different awards to present. So in some respects, it's lucky that you're not all going to come up one at a time and collect them, because otherwise we'd be here really a long time. So we're going to kind of do some in batches. Heather and I are going to take turns with some others. And then the most exciting thing is they will all be put in the post. It would have been probably tomorrow or the next day, but Compass is down for maintenance for the next 2 days, which means that unless Heather's been incredibly organised and got all the addresses, I certainly haven't for the ones that I've got. So so hopefully by the end of this week, all the certificates will be in the post. John Foxwell is hopefully going to hand deliver some of those, so some of you will get it through your letterbox. Hopefully at some point this week, the rest of them we're put in the post. So if you get that wrong mail card to say, sorry, there's a bulky item and you have to go and collect it, that's probably our fault, for which I apologise. But hey, it is what it is. But yes, so I think we get started then. Heather, okay, so I'll go first. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do all of our 5-year service certificates. So for those of you that don't know, we have long service awards in scouting that recognise the time commitment that people have made to scouting. So I'm going to go through one at a time. So our first 5-year service award recipient is Alison Young, who is from the 16th Ealing. So thanks very much, Alison. Our second award recipient is Jennifer Schultz, Scout Leader for the 25th Ealing. Thank you very much, Jennifer. The other thing to say is there is a Q&A box. So if you have any questions, we won't kind of stop mid-flow and probably answer them. But if you do have any questions that you'd like asked during the evening, then do type it in the Q&A box, and then hopefully we'll be able to pick those up. Our third 5-year service award is to, now I should draw back a little bit and say that some of these were reprints because in the transition from DCs over the last kind of 3 years or so, you know, some of them possibly kind of ended up somewhere or got lost or got posted to someone. So some of these are late to be awarded. So for those of you that get a certificate and it's maybe dated maybe 18 months ago, that's kind of what happened there. So we had to request some reprints from HQ. And the reason I'm saying that is because this is one of those that's quite old. So David Thurston, who was our district chair at the point that the certificate was issued, but he's now part of the adult advisory panel. Thank you very much, David. Our next one is Laurie Mascott, who is leader at the First Hanwell. Thank you very much, Laurie. Our next one is Tim Gebbles, who at the time of this was a scout leader at the First Ealing North. He's now signed up to be part of the GSL team. So thank you very much, Tim. Our next one is, and I apologise for the pronunciation, Laura, I might get this terribly wrong, is Laura Belmos Taffy, is it? I do apologise if that's wrong. So thank you very much, Laura. As Heather should have done that one because she probably has spent more time in meetings with Laura being a Beaver leader herself. So I got that one. And my final 5-year one is for Joanna Witter. Joanna Witter is manages the hall at the First Hanwell. So thank you very much, Jo. And she used to be a club leader, I think it was, some years ago. So that's all of my 5 years. I'm now going to hand over to Heather, who's going to present the 5-year certificate that she got.
Thank you. Right, so I'll take over the screen now. I haven't managed to get it so I can do it in portrait fashion, so I will have to just hold them up to the screen while I'm sitting here. So apologies for that. My first one is one of our 5th Hanwell supporters, and it's the James Anderson, who has been helping for for 5 years. This is one of the ones that has been slightly delayed. It's dated November 2018, so James has been helping for even longer than that as treasurer of 5th Hanwell. So congratulations and well done to James. Then I've got another one, which is one of our non-uniformed, again from 5th Hanwell, dated April 2019. This is Penny Duffy. So a round of applause for Penny Duffy. Thank you, great.
Yes, there's also on the district AAC as well, so along with David Thurston, so she's joined the district team as well, so thank you.
Thanks, Ben. Yes, that's correct. And now I've got one of the first Ealing North team. This is Tim Barnes. Sorry if I'm exposing your middle names, Tim, but congratulations for 5 years excellent service there. And we've got someone from 25th Ealing now. Again, I believe this is a non-uniformed supporter, and this is Ian Hutchinson. I think he was previously in a uniformed role as well. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. It's lovely to see the comments coming through on the chat, and it means that we congratulate people as the awards come through. So thank you for that, Carl. And the last of my 5-year certificates for service is for another 25th Ealing leader and also a district leader, Nisha Patel. Big round of applause for Nisha. 5 years. And that came through in the most recent batch, dated 3rd of January 2020. So back over to you, Ben.
Sure, why not? Okay, so we're going to move on to those that have given us an amazing 10 years of service. So I've got one here. So Simon Croydon of the 8th Hanwell. I'd like to say a huge thank you for your 10 years of service that you've given the district and 8th Hanwell. So thank you very much, Simon.
Well done, Simon.
That's my only 10, Heather. Do you have any 10s?
Why have I got more? Oh, sorry about that. I didn't divide them up very well, did I? Right. So I've got one which we had hoped to award back in 2019, and I'm pretty sure she's not with us this evening, but we do want to send it in the post, and I wanted to sort of acknowledge the huge contribution that she'd made in front of everybody, which of course is our previous treasurer, Sheila Burt. So although she is no longer in a scouting role, we still want to acknowledge that she gave 10 years service. So a huge thank you to Sheila, and we'll make sure that that safely gets delivered to her.
Especially for the last year, you know, her health wasn't great, you know, but she carried on supporting the district because she recognised that it was a vital position. So as Heather says, thank you, Sheila, for everything that you've done for scouting. So we hugely appreciate that.
Absolutely, and she was fantastic in helping Louise when Louise kindly took over as treasurer, and even in recent times she's been assisting when there might be the odd little query. So we very much appreciate all that Sheila's done. Yes, John, that's a brilliant idea. Right, so moving on to my next 10-year one, we've got Margaret Thompson from 1st Ealing North, 10 years, which was dated 3rd of January. So again, that's a nice recent one. So well done to Margaret. And I've got one more of the 10-year ones, which is, this is David Hurley. Congratulations to David. Yeah, some good applause coming there. Well deserved by David. And that's the last of my 10-year ones. So yeah, and I've got some clapping on the chat as well, which is lovely to see. Well done, everybody.
Yes, thank you, David. I mean, David hasn't done his 10 years with Ealing Hanwell. He's a relatively new joiner to, I think, 7th Hanwell, but yeah, he's now accrued 10 years of service. So thank you, David. Yes. Is it back to me?
Well, I have a 15-year one, which I think comes in.
With you. It's a bit like Challenge Annika, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it is.
Or Spring Watch at the moment. So, but yeah.
So I'll do this final 15-year one. We're going to hold off some of the longer ones, and we're going to do some wood badges in a minute. But first, I'll just do this 15-year one, which again, I'm not sure if she's in attendance this evening, but I know we've got plenty of people from this group, and I know you'll be delighted to pass on the news and help us make sure that she gets it safe and sound. And it is for Sue Hyde, who has completed 15 years of service. And again, well-deserved round of applause. That was dated 3rd of January, so it's in the most recent batch. Okay,
yes,
right.
She's certainly done a lot. I mean, I think she was a club leader. She started as a club leader at the first Hanwell many years ago, and she's now, she was district secretary, and then she went back to the group, so she's now group secretary. So she's been a vital member of the team for, well, 10-15 years now, as we can see. But yeah, so thank you, Sue.
Excellent. Right, so would you like to go first, Ben, with first of the wood badges?
Why not? So yeah, so we are now going to move on to wood badges. So for those of you that don't know, when you complete your training in one of the uniform roles, you are given wood badges. It's linked directly to Baden Powell. So he was the first one to present these once people had completed their training. And I think it used to come from a tree somewhere in Africa. Some of you will know your scouting history better than me, so I apologise if that's not completely right. They're no longer from that same tree. I must be completely honest with you. So if you're thinking you're getting a piece of African oak that's over 100 years old, then I'm sorry, that's not the case. But this is a fantastic symbol of the commitment that all of our adults make. So for us to be the best that we can be and delivering great scouting for our young people, we need to complete our training to enable us to be the best we can be. So it's fantastic when someone works all of their training modules. I think it's about 25 or something that a leader has to do, you know, a section leader. So it's fantastic to see this happen. So firstly, thank you very much to all the wood badges we're going to get about tonight. Now, normally we put this around your neck. So for everyone that's getting this, I'm sorry, you're going to have to present the actual wood badges to yourself. So there is a little badge, a little plastic bag in there with the wood badge. But unfortunately, you won't have to present it to yourself. So the first one, or my first one, is to Toby Hillman of the 9th Ealing. So congratulations, Toby, and thank you very much for completing your training. And we're now going to pass over to Heather, so we're going to alternate wood badges, or at least these ones. So thank you very much, Toby.
Yes. Okay. So I've got two. Oh yes, alternating. So I'll do one and then pass it back to Ben. So I've got this. This was awarded. The date on it is the 22nd of July 2019. But there's always a little bit of delay before they come through to us from HQ, and then it's obviously looking for the soonest opportunity when lots of people are gathered, like tonight, that we can make it something special. So apologies to this person that you've had to wait a bit, but tonight we would like to congratulate Sarah Merkin from 6th Ealing. You have gained your wood badge. Look at that. That is fantastic. And of course the actual beads are here. So there you go. There's your beads, Sarah. And I know you're with us this evening. So well done, Sarah. Big congratulations to you. Well done.
Cool. Okay, so back to me. So my second one, is someone that's already received a certificate tonight. So so very lucky person here. So our second, third, oh God, it's going everywhere. I do apologise. So this is for Jennifer Schultz from the 20th Ealing, so part of the Scout Leader team there. So thank you very much and well done, Jennifer.
Well done, Jennifer. Yay, well done. Okay, and I've got another one, a wood badge. This one was, the date on the certificate is the 27th of November 2019. So that came in the most recent batch. By the way, anything that was processed later than February is held because of the furlough, so we haven't got anything newer than the February batch. So anybody who completed their wood badge more recently, it won't be tonight, I'm afraid, because everything is on hold. However, this person has gained their wood badge, and it is 8th Hanwell. It's Ealing Hanwell. So congratulations to Ealing.
Well done.
Well done. And of course, there's your actual beads, Ealing. There you go. That's what's going to go around your neck very, very soon.
Which sounds a little bit ominous, but I will.
Sorry.
Cool. So my fourth one, is it, or our fourth one, is to part of the First Ealing North team. So this is to Terry Jagers. So congratulations, and thank you very much, Terry.
Well done, Terry. I think, Ben, you might have another one which actually comes with wood badge beads.
Oh, do I? No, I don't.
Have we done all 5?
Yes.
Okay, so then we've got a number of wood badge certificates where it is. Oh, good, thank you, Erin. Lovely to hear from you. We've got several wood badge certificates for people who are among our many committed leaders who either take on more than one role at a time, or having spent some time in a role, move on and do a subsequent different role. Now, we haven't got any that I'm aware of where they've changed from leader to manager or something like that. Most of these are moving from section to a different section, or from assistant leader to leader, that kind of thing. But they always come with a new wood badge certificate once we've crossed over the validation, or the person has done a little bit of extra to get the hang of what the difference between the roles are. And we hugely appreciate and want to say thank you to those people as well. So I've got quite a few, but again, are we going to alternate these ones, Ben?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's alternate. Let's just
okay, because there's quite a few of them. Okay, so again, some of these are older than others, but the first one is for John Stanton as a section leader. So well done, John. That's an additional wood badge certificate for you. As we know, we don't get extra beads, but it's still wonderful to get that recognition. Ben?
Yes, my first one is to Natasha Adsley for what is it? It's for assistant section leader Beaver Scout role. So thank you very much, Natasha.
And Natasha, I know that you probably are confused because you have, or if Natasha's not here, pass on the message, because Natasha not only is an assistant leader with 9th Ealing, and she has already had her wood badge and the beads presented to her for that, but she then very kindly took on a district beaver leader role as well. So that is why she's got a second wood badge. Right, so my next one of this type is for someone again in recognition of their district scouter role, in addition to what they do for their group, and this is for Ben Douglas. So well done, Ben. There's another one to add to your collection. You're going to end up with 3. I know your manager one is in the process, but for now you have to make do with this one. Okay.
But yeah, so obviously those of you that want more certificates, just keep saying yes to those jobs. You know, it's that easy, guys. You know. Okay, so my next one is to Jeanette Joyce. So this is an assistant section leader. Thank you very much, Jeanette.
Thank you, Jeanette. And I've got one. I know that this person is here tonight. It's another of our excellent team at First Ealing North, and this is in recognition of Howard Branley moving from assistant leader to section leader. So well done, and thank you to Howard.
Well, my next one is a real what's the best way of putting it? A real cornerstone of scouting in Ealing and Hanwell, and also GNW. So this is to Mary Power for section leader Beaver Scouts. Yay! You must have a lot of these, Mary, but well done. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you've got a lot of them, Mary. You could probably paper your room with the number of certificates you've got by now, but each one is very, very well deserved. So I have one here for David Hurley as an assistant section leader for Cub Scouts. So well done to David. There you are, your name's cropped up again tonight. Well-deserved round of applause for you.
And then my next one is for Kerry Davis of the Sixth Ealing, sorry. So thank you very much, Kerry, and well done.
Yeah, that's great. And I've got, I've got two for the same person. So I'm going to do them together. And one is dated the 16th of April 2019. And then the next one is dated the 21st of August 2019. So I'll do them in that order because in the first instance, Tim Barnes had his wood badge certificate, an additional wood badge certificate as an assistant section leader. And then later that same year, Tim Barnes had his wood badge certificate as a section leader. So there you go.
Well done, Tim. That's so keen there.
That's the end of my extras. Have you got any more, Ben?
I have got one more. So my final additional wood badge, and once again, this person's got at least one award today. So so this is to Tim Gebbles at the First Ealing North. So this is for his assistant section leader. Thank you very much, and well done, Tim.
Yep. Well done, Tim.
Struggling with your posts.
Yes.
Okay, so we are on to Commissioner's commendations. Is that with me, or do you have any of those, Heather?
I've got one, and I think you've got the others. So I will start if you like.
Yep, that's cool. Go for it. Yep.
Okay. So now where have I put it? Oh yes, I kept it in a packet just so it would be protected. Okay, so I just dropped the pin on the floor. Now, some of you will know that towards the end of last year, we asked GSLs and others who might like to participate to nominate anyone within their groups if they would like to have their good service recognised. And some of the awards people aren't eligible for unless they've got certain length of service, etc. But there are many people within Scouting who make fantastic contributions, and we're wanting to get better at saying thank you and saying well done. So this, with the help of the GSLs and in some cases group chairs, we have a number of these have come through. And the first one I want to do is again somebody whose name has already been mentioned this evening, and it is James Anderson. And the Commissioner's Commendation Award has been awarded to James for his brilliant support of 5th Hanwell as treasurer and also as a camp helper. And thank you to Mandy for putting together an excellent nomination for James. And I've signed that, dated it from April this year because it would otherwise have been presented at the St George's Day parade earlier this year. So we're delighted to recognise James.
Well, thank you, James. All over to me. So my first one, once again, is someone that's already been mentioned. Heather and I would like to award the Commissioner's Commendation to David Thurston. So as mentioned, he did a fantastic job as district chair for roughly 10 years. And then he's now moved on to the District Appointments Committee. So Heather and I nominated David. He made a significant contribution to the district during his time as chair. He took on a lot of responsibilities in terms of looking after Leighton Hall and supporting the 9th Ealing, who some of you know also meet there, as well as looking after the nursery as well. So we'd like to say a huge thank you to David for everything he did during his time as chair of the district. So thank you very much, David. So there's your certificate. So that'll be in the post soon.
Well done, David. And while Ben gets his next one, I just wanted to show that in the cases where we have people who are non-uniformed members gaining the commendation, it comes as a little a pin badge. So that's what people like James and David, who's not a uniformed member, will be receiving.
Yes, which is fantastic, you know, because these awards are designed for people who have done fantastic service, like Heather said, but maybe haven't got, you know, the length of service that some of the other awards require, and also they're very flexible. So for our non-uniform volunteers. That they're a fantastic way of thanking them. So our next award was a nomination by Mark Yates, who Group Scout leader at the 9th Ealing. No, actually that's wrong. So the 8th Ealing. Excuse me, Mark. So he nominated Esther Newell, who is the group chair at the 8th Ealing. So he said that I won't read the whole thing, but Esther took the role on I think 4 years ago when her son joined. And back then the group was in a slightly vulnerable position with in terms of adults and leaders and the exec. And Esther really took on the mantle of kind of supporting Mark in his role as GSL and very much turning that group around. You know, I believe she recruited the nursery that's there at the moment. So she's done a fantastic job in a non-uniform role, and by the sound of it has made the uniform section's job 10 times easier. So thank you very much, Esther, for everything you've done as group chair. And thank you very much, Mark, for nominating her. That's exactly what we want. So thank you very much.
Yeah, excellent.
Okay, so we are Chief Scouts commendations.
Yes, yes.
Where are we going? Shall I start this one? Do you want to start?
Yes, please do. Yes, Chief Scout
Okay,
commendation.
so, Chief Scouts commendations. So, this is once again someone that's already been mentioned. So the Chief Scouts commendation for good service is for someone that has done at least 5 years good service, and that they fulfilled a lot of other requirements as well. So this was nominated by Mandy Coombs, who is the Group Scout leader at the 5th Hanwell. And when Heather put out the appeal roughly September last year, I think it was, for volunteers that, you know, deserve to be recognised for their good service, this was one of the first ones that came back. So I'd like to award the Chief Scouts commendation for good service to, and I'm going to struggle again to get the name, so I'm sorry, Laura Belmostafasti. And I think I've said that completely different to the last time. So thank you very much, Laura. And the citation says, Laura is a dedicated Scouter who is GSL for the 8th Hanwell. She leads her group with real passion and runs the Beaver section, as well as regularly helping out with Cubs and Scouts. In addition, she is the Assistant District Commissioner Beaver Scouts, overseeing Beaver sections across the district, as well as organising and managing district events. Laura is hugely deserving of this award, and Heather and I completely agree. So thank you very much, Laura, and well done.
Bravo, Laura, and I'm delighted that you're with us tonight to hear that in person in front of everybody else. That's so nice. Okay, and I've also got a Chief Scout commendation for good service, and this one, in fact, we received, unbeknownst to them, I guess, we received a nomination for the same person from 2 different nominators, which is just goes to show how important this person is to their group. And the person that we are wanting to honour tonight with the Chief Scout commendation for good service is Adrian Walker from 7th Hanwell. So there we are. And again, I'll just pick out a few of the bits on the nomination forms. Adrian is an active and dynamic part of the group. He's been with the Cubs, and his participation is above what can be demanded. He's helped with the Scout troop and has also been managing the rebuild project. He's an example of a committed and good Scout leader. And the other nomination says a little bit more about the rebuilding project. Most notably, Adrian has been the champion for a headquarters rebuild project, which the group initiated about 3 years ago. Adrian has built a team to work on the project and leads from the front, successfully gaining planning approval and starting major fundraising activities. There is a long way to go, but Adrian has the commitment and has set the foundation for a successful project that will benefit all at 7th Hanwell for generations to come. So he's also active in the district and is a valued member of the district, willing to help and committed to giving all Beavers, Cubs and Scouts the best possible experience. So thank you to Adrian, and well deserved award.
Thank you very much, Adrian. So my second one is, shall I read the, Yes, we'd like to award the Chief Scouts Commendation for Good Service to Kerry Davis of the 6th Ealing. And I will read the citation. So this citation was put together by Sarah Merkin. So since starting as an assistant Beaver leader in 2010, Kerry has tirelessly given her time to 6th Ealing, progressing to the role of club leader. She will complete 10 years service next year and is still as enthusiastic now as she was when she first joined. She organises several camps and indoor-outdoor activities a year and is constantly trying to come up with new ideas so the programme does not become stale or outdated. Even faced with adversity, she continues to be involved with clubs throughout her medical challenges. Due to the lack of leaders at 6th Ealing, Kerry often offers to help out with Scouts as well as Cubs, giving up her whole Thursday night each week to ensure that our young people do not miss out on the wonderful experiences and skills that Scouting offers. So thank you very much, Kerry. That is hugely appreciated. Well done for all your hard work.
Fantastic. Well done, Kerry. I've got one more, and then I think I'll be passing back to Ben for a further one. Now, this was nominated by the group chairman, and it's a very impressive nomination. Again, we're so delighted to be receiving these nominations, really making clear how important you, the leaders, are to your groups and to us as the district. And this is the Chief Scout Commendation for Good Service for Mandy Coombs, 5th Hanwell. Yes, well-deserved applause. And again, I will read a little bit of what the nomination said. That's the cloth badge that will be sent out along with the certificate. So the nomination form, the citation says, Mandy is a dedicated group scout leader for 5th Hanwell. And she is also a district beaver leader for Ealing and Hanwell district, working closely with the ADC beavers, and has responsibility with roles in our district events. The fact that 5th Hanwell has done well in various district events, this nominator makes clear that wouldn't happen without Mandy's leadership skills. And of course, Mandy, as a very committed group scout leader, is always making sure that her leaders complete their required training and make sure that regular group executive meetings are taking place, including parent participation, arranging the AGM, and has the support of a dedicated executive committee. She plans meetings well ahead of the implementation date, and there were examples of that as well. It also goes on to say that Mandy has the full support of her family and has managed to bring in her daughter as an assistant beaver leader. So well done, good recruiting going on there. And of course, finally, Mandy looks after the relationship between the group and the Methodist Church that hosts their meetings and takes care of all the aspects of that relationship. I thoroughly recommend that Mandy should be given the Chief Scout Commendation for Good Service Award, and we firmly agree. So well done to Mandy.
Well done, thank you, Mandy. Okay, and then our final one, Chief Scouts Commendation for Good Service, goes to, so I've awarded the Chief Scouts Commendation for Good Service to Tim Gebbles from the 1st Ealing North in recognition of good service to Scouting. So congratulations, Tim. You were nominated by Malcolm, who obviously is the group scout leader here, or there. I'll read that for you. So I'd like to recommend Tim Gebbles, assistant scout leader for the Chief Scouts Commendation for Good Service. Tim joined 1st Ealing North in 2012 as a parent helper when his first daughter joined our beaver colony. In June 2014, he became assistant scout leader, and then in September 2014, scout leader. This was when the former scout leader moved away from London. So Tim stepped up with a depleted leadership team. His team then started to grow in numbers. When he decided to stand down as scout leader, in September 19, and become an assistant scout leader, he left a healthy number for his successor to work with. Tim is also up to date with all his training, as well as having camping permits. And so yes, congratulations, Tim, and thank you very much for all that you do. And as I mentioned earlier, Tim was just in the last month or so agreed to join the Group Scout leader team at the First Ealing North, because he actually stepped away from the section leader role. I think it was in September of last year, but he wasn't allowed to stay away for long before the magnetic pool of uniform and scout him sucked him back in. So thank you very much, Tim, for stepping back into a regular scouting role. We hugely appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I think Ben, he's been an assistant leader rather than the section leader for the last while, but is now doing the assistant Group Scout leader role as well. But it's not just any Nights Away permit; it's a green-field Nights
permit.
Green field.
Yeah.
Those are pretty rare in this district, and we need. We're very glad to have them. So, are we going to go next? I think we're finished with those awards, and we've got our 2 remaining Good Service Awards. Shall I go on and start those?
Yep. So
Okay.
please go ahead, Heather.
Right. So the first of these are the 2 that actually come with a medal. So we've got an award for merit, and the first award for merit is I'll just take it out of the box and show you what the award for merit. I've got one to show you here. So I haven't taken it out of its plastic yet, but there's the ribbon. Oh, it's all wrapped up inside. Well, that's what the award for merit looks like inside. Okay, so the award for merit, which is it has to be 12 years good service, or in exceptional circumstances it can be awarded after 10 years. But this person has given considerably more than 12 years service, and we are delighted to recognise someone who has been a dedicated scouter and involved in the scout movement basically the whole life. The nomination, which is from Malcolm, the Group Scout leader, is for Christopher Bennett. And it says, I would like to recommend Christopher Bennett, Assistant Scout Leader, 1st Ealing North, for the award for merit. Chris has been through the movement, Cub Scout, Scout, Venture Scout, VS Helper in his home district. He joined 1st Ealing North in July 2016, but had previously been with 8th Hanwell as an assistant scout leader as well. And anybody who knows Chris will know this next bit is one of his key things that he brings to scouting. Chris brought with him his interest in singing, especially around the campfire. What would we do without our brilliant campfire song leaders? Thank you so much, Chris, for that. His love of the outdoors has been a great asset to our group, especially at camps and in the troop room. He is very popular with the troop members and is great at encouraging all in their badge work and other interests. He's up to date with his training, he holds his wood badge and has sufficient length of service. Congratulations wholeheartedly to Chris Bennett. Well done.
Well done, Chris. Thank you very much.
So that will be a slightly bulkier delivery. So we'll see how we can get that to you. I think we might have some of these slightly bulkier ones will be dropped off by hand rather than entrusted to the post. Okay, so the next one was nominated by a group chair, and this one falls into the category of exceptional circumstances after 10 years service. So it wouldn't normally be the case that someone could be considered for an award for merit until after 12 years, but in this case definitely is deserved after 10. So the recipient, and I think they are with us this evening, is Mark Yates. Congratulations to Mark. That's pretty special. So, Mark, the citation for you, it's very, very fulsome. So, sparing your blushes, it says, Mark's years of service have been exceptional because of his ambition to grow and promote scouting locally and nationally, backed up by a strong skill set and positive mindset in challenging situations. In spring 2016, Mark was left as almost the only leader at 8th Ealing, and he faced a choice: allow the group to close or take on the task of rebuilding from scratch. Since then, through his dedication, persistence, enthusiasm and optimism, he has managed to persuade parents to form a totally new executive committee, recruit at least 8 leaders and support them through their training, right the way through to wood badges, reopened the beaver and cub sections after a gap of many years, and the group now has all 3 sections being full with waiting lists. He has ensured the financial viability of the group by increasing hall rentals, including finding a day nursery, and he led a programme of improvement works to the building to comply with Ofsted standards. On top of his dedication to growing 8th Ealing, Mark also raises the profile of scouting locally and nationally through his significant online and social media presence. And as we all know, he runs the Big Man of the Woods vlog and podcast, and has already received a commissioner commendation from the county in recognition of what he's been doing for virtual scouting just recently. But this one has been in the works for quite a while, Mark, so hooray for you for everything that you do for the district, as well as your work for scouting on the larger canvas. But we need you, we love you, thank you for what you do for us. Thank you very much, and well done to Mark.
Cool. Thank you very much, Mark. Okay, so we're 20s, aren't we? Okay.
Yes, we're up to the 20s.
So we're almost done. We've just got some exceptional length of service awards to present. You know, so we know that we have some incredible volunteers that do so much for scouting, not just for 5 years, not just for 10 years, not just for 15 years, but beyond that. So we've kept these to the end because, you know, that level of commitment is just exceptional. So I'd like to present the Chief Scouts 20 Years Service Award to Carol Boron of the 8th Hanwell. So Carol has had many roles. I believe she was a uniform leader, group scout leader, group chairman, I think, or chairperson, sorry. So she's always been there for as long as I can remember at the 8th Hanwell. So thank you very much and well done, Carol.
So as you will see, Carol's certificate is in Hitchin with Ben, and we will need to liaise with Laura about how best to send that. We were simply going to send it through the post, but I had a message from Laura today where she would quite like to be involved in doing that. Socially distant, but something maybe at her door.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I've got a 25-year. Shall I do the 25-year one next?
Yes, go for it. If you want to beat my pitiful 20 years, then of course.
Yes. Well, now this is 20 years plus a bit, because this is one of the old ones that must have got lost. So this, either that or we just never got a chance to get the person in the room, and I think he's here tonight. I think he's here. So this is dated May 2016, so it's even longer since then, but this is 25 years recognition of service for Robert Coomer, our lovely chair of the AAC. Well done, Robert. And I've got a 30-year one. Shall I do my 30-year one now?
Yes, sure. Go for that. Yes, please.
Okay. So I'm not sure if this person is with us this evening from the registrations, but I'm pretty sure that we've got others from their group. This is a first Hanwell stalwart, somebody who has been there serving and doing fantastic scouting and helping in so many different ways. And it is 30 years for James Vaux. There we go.
Well, thanks very much, Jim.
Over to you, Ben.
Oh, so I've got our. Should we do the other one we talked about?
Oh yes, I forgot. Yes. Sorry, I've just noticed that we had yes. Yeah, we're nearly at the end. We've got a couple of things, but before we do our final long service award, we had we wanted to make an announcement and give a special thank you, because recently Steve Douglas has decided to stand down from the role of appointments secretary. He very kindly is carrying on with various other roles for the district, including the Night's Way admin, and also retains his role as Deputy District Commissioner. But we just wanted to say a huge thank you to Steve, because the District Secretary is an incredibly important job, and you've done a fantastic amount in that role for such a long time. I think was it 12 years you've been doing that?
12 years, yeah.
12 years, that's
I mean,
amazing.
that's what Compass said. It might be 20 years in reality, you know,
well,
but yeah.
So it's very difficult to know how to mark something like that, but you've already got all the gongs going from the official scouting gongs, but we wanted to get you one of the little thank you silver pins that just as a small expression and token of our esteem and thanks, and it comes with a postcard, especially from Bear Grylls, thanking you.
Kind. Yes, we got Mark to get him to sign that specially, Steve. So it's not at all printed; it's actually genuinely signed. Not.
Not.
But yeah, so thank you very much, Steve. It's going to be hard to replace someone like you as appointment secretary. Yes, we are looking. Oh, is it the final one?
It's the final one.
Okay, so you know, a few minutes ago I was talking about exceptional lengths of service. It's quite rare you see someone that has given this much time to scouting, and it's truly unbelievable. So this is a Chief Scout's 60-year service award. So just think about, you know, the amount of time and effort and evenings and days and weekends you have to give up to give 60 years of your life to scouting. You know, and obviously that starts from the age of 18 or whatever date this person took a first adult role. So I believe this person was probably the equivalent of Beavers, Cubs, Scouts, you know, Venture Scouts, or whatever the sections were back when this person was a young person. But I am hugely in awe and delighted to announce that Anthony Phillips, here is a 60-year service award. So Anthony is our president, but he's had so many roles for so many years. So thank you very much, Anthony, for all of the years that you've given scouting at Ealing Hanwell. Truly astonishing that you've given us 60 years. So thank you so much. We can only dream of doing that much for scouting. So thank you very much, Anthony.
Well done, congratulations. Woo, 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 woo. Well done. I should have got those sound effects out. I wanted to have the explosions of the fireworks and the mad rounds of applause from a crowded stadium, but we
yes, we should have timed it for you know, those natural times in the year when you have fireworks going on outside, and then it could have been so much better. Now that's all the award. I would just like to ask Richard Williams, our county commissioner. He's been sitting there very patiently and applauding and enjoying in all of the achievements of the district. I'd just like to ask him to say a few words, if you may.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Heather. It's been just tremendous seeing so many awards going through in such an amazingly quick time as well. Absolutely seamless between the two of you. It was brilliant, brilliant performance. And congratulations to all of the recipients. Hi, Carl. Good to see you out there as well. Coming up on the thing, Ben. I'm not going to read everybody's name out, by the way, so don't take that as a tempting bet to see how many people I can say thank you to in the next 5 minutes before saying anything else. Otherwise, it makes it a very long evening, I guess. First of all, thank you so much to all of you here this evening. It's great to see so many people on a video call. And keeping scouting going in Ealing and Hanwell, it's a really vital moment for scouting at the moment. You know, it could have been very easy for people to sit back, although no, it couldn't. In scouting, we just won't let that happen. We won't sit down. Within days of the announcement of lockdown, you know, we were out there with program ideas. Mark, you know, on Facebook, Big Man in the Woods, you were right across the country. I was getting feedback from people all over the country saying how wonderful it was to see stuff going out from Greater London, Middlesex West, and from Ealing and Hanwell in particular. Don't underestimate what it is that we're achieving here. Keeping in touch with young people and keeping them thinking and doing scouting whilst we're in this really, really unusual period, is absolutely vital. The number of pieces of feedback that I'm picking up from right across our county about young people who are valuing their time scouting every week, and the parental feedback saying that actually their young people are really seeing the benefits of what we do as an organization, as a movement. So really don't underestimate, however small, whatever it is you're doing, just, you know, really understand that you're actually helping people to achieve something really good in a really difficult period for all of us. Well done to all of the people who've received certificates and awards this evening. It's tremendous to see these things going through. I think as a county, you know, we're still out there doing things, you know, supporting people right across the county. We're keeping our program out there. You'll have seen a number of things online. We've got a virtual beaver and cub day coming up at the end of this month. Trying to just make some things a little more varied, get some interviews with some animals or animal carers, I guess. The animals won't be saying too much other than bark, bark, and squeak maybe, but they're definitely out there. You know, take a look at that. Fantastic job, all of those people who are still working away at 20 and 20. We got the lockdown version of 20 and 20 up on the website as quickly as we could. People were asking me about water activities today, so they're really getting through a lot of the challenges already. Obviously, you know, I'm a big fan of the water slide in the back garden. That works for me. But you've also got opportunities to look at things like, you know, saving rainwater in the current stormy week we've had, and thinking about irrigation and stuff like that. So really broaden the net in terms of thinking about how you can actually extend how those challenges look. At PACCAR, we are desperate to welcome everybody back to PACCAR. You may have seen this week we got a huge grant from HS2 to build a new climbing wall and underground caving complex. We're hoping that will get done over the summer, so that when we get open, hopefully, you know, later in the year, maybe in the autumn, that should all be ready to go. We're spending a lot of time thinking about how we can open up for activity days, suitably socially distant, making sure all the kit is there. And as soon as we can get the doors open, we'll be certainly looking to get everybody back and saying hi again, and looking like things are as close to normal as we can get. In the interim, we're working on making scouting, or virtual scouting, normal, making it business as usual. So we think about where our next beavers come from. So we think about that transition from beavers to cubs and scouts and on to explorers, so that everybody feels that they're still progressing through the entire organization. And it's absolutely vital that we give everyone that reminder. Just because you fall off the age range at the top of a section, don't disappear right now. We can keep those things working and actually start going into those other sections. Really important to make those things happen. And I'm really pleased to be able to say that actually we're getting someone from Ealing and Hanwell back into the county team. You probably know in the district, many of you, but Howard Branley has agreed to be an ACC for the Scout section for us, and he and I are working on a pretty cool project for July and probably into August. So look out for more news on that very soon. But I'm really pleased to have Howard on board. It's going to be some real fun things that we're going to get into. Actually, the things that we've had going on in GLMW have been spotted by the national organization. We've been providing a lot of input, both through helping them think about how they manage their financial situation just at the moment, but also giving them some support and advice on their Scout Adventures campsites, and making sure that we're out there doing you know, good program nationally as well as locally. We're obviously keeping everyone up to date with the latest in terms of news and encouraging people to keep getting their training done. I can only urge you, if you've got a safety or safeguarding module outstanding, do it now. You can do it online. It takes you 15 minutes. I know that's not enough to learn safeguarding, but just do it now. Don't wait another day. You know you want to do it. It's really, really important that you get these things done. It's only going to get more pressure from lots of other people around the country. We ask nicely. Just, yeah, you know, it makes sense. So I really appreciate you being there. Everything that you're doing right now in scouting, really, really amazing stuff in Ealing and Hanwell. Keep those videos going out, Mark. It's really important to make it work for everybody. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop me an email, get in touch, give me a phone call. We're all there to support. But thank you a huge amount for everything you're doing. Good job, everybody.
Thank you,
Thanks
Richard.
so much, Richard.
Thank you, Richard.
Can't
Thank you.
believe Richard got the shameless training plug-in. You know, when I gave him the brief, there was nothing about training. But no, joking aside, we've all had emails from Tim Kidd. So yes, please do your training if you're getting those. Because, you know, off camera, Richard shouts at Heather and I, probably because someone's shouting
In
at
the
him.
nicest possible way.
So yeah, so I think that pretty much concludes the evening. Do we have any questions? Has anyone hit the QA box?
No, there's been lots of chat contributions, which have been, I've been just trying to scroll back and read the chat things, which are lovely to see. And I think some of them were visible to all the attendees and some were only visible to the panelists. But we are recording the whole of this, so we can capture all that loveliness as well. And I think, Ben, we were going to put the list on the website as well of all the names.
Yeah. So what we do over I mean, I think we've got about 10 days or so before the next district news goes out. Yes, what we do is we're going to try and get the video on the website, so that those people that couldn't make it can be encouraged to do their training. And yes, you know, we'll put a list on the website as well. But yes,
you've got a couple of questions coming up, guys. Just does anyone want to appear on a Big Man in the Woods vlog? If you do, get in touch with Mark. Absolutely don't ask me to do it, because I have been take 79 on a lot of videos lately, and I could do with a break from video. Ben Douglas asking, are county raising capitation fees? We've got no plans to increase the county capitation fee. Obviously, there is a significant increase likely down the track from the national organisation, and we're thinking about ways we can help people with some of that as well.
And yeah, thank you for the comment on the Q&A. District/county should do more online stuff. Good to see you all. I agree. I think it's been lovely to have this. I mean, I know that in the webinar context, we don't have a gallery where we can see every single person. We just weren't sure if we could cope with having a Zoom, with not knowing how many we would have attending, but that's something we should maybe attempt, so that we can be even more interactive in the future.
Yeah,
which is lovely.
You know, we always want you to tell us what to do, not literally, obviously, because some of you might, you know, not ask for the right nice thing. But yes, you know, we are your servants in Ealing and Hanwell. So yes, you know, we're here for you. So do give us feedback in things that you'd like to see whilst we're on the lockdown, or moving forward as well. You know, we always say to our sectional ADCs, you know, and they always say to their leaders, you know, tell us if you want us to do different activities to the ones we've traditionally done. So yes, please share your ideas with us.
Ben, there was a question from Ben Douglas, which I don't know the answer to, but you would, because you're the techie person. Can webinars be used via the Scouts Zoom accounts?
I think not, actually, Ben. So the webinar function on Zoom is an extra cost. So if you were, you know, for those of you, well, I suppose I'll roll back a sec. So obviously the district are funding some Zoom accounts. We're going to continue to do that until essentially people stop using them. So some of you will know that the HQ have now sorted out the deal with Zoom. If you haven't got those links, Heather and I will share those with you. But we will carry on to fund these accounts just so there's a little bit more capacity. But no, the webinar is actually an extra add-on. So I've upgraded one account for 1 month just so we could do tonight. And I guess if this was successful and you know we wanted to do more webinars, then we keep that upgrade running. But yes, I don't think the standard £12 or whatever it is license gives you the option of doing webinars.
Yeah, and somebody else has made a good comment about the Google option for using Google Meet. So that's an option for people if I don't quite know what the functionality is on it, Ben. Is it very similar to Zoom?
It's similar, but I think Zoom, some of the things like the waiting room and, you know, Zoom, although they were criticised for security, I think they have a lot of things in place now that work quite well for scouting. But there's so many virtual conferencing platforms, and I know
there is
do listen.
Sorry, There is a very good page on the Scout website that actually looks at each of the different meat servers so that people can get a sense of where the weaknesses or strengths are in each of them. So I'd certainly encourage people to go take a look at that.
Yeah, so one thing you can't use is house party. So that, you know, they technically haven't banned it, but that's one where it's not sufficiently safe for young people. So obviously it's adults, it's different. You can house party with your adult leaders to the heart content, but not if it's the young people. But that is cool. So I guess we should now conclude our evening, unless there's any other questions. Just say thanks very much for giving up another evening scouting. Obviously, it's a little bit easy, you don't have to leave home. But yeah, and
raise a glass.
Those of you, water bottle, and do nominate more people. So anyone can nominate any adult for one of the awards. So obviously some of them do have requirements. And we always want to be presenting more awards. Cool.
Yes.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, everybody. The next cycle on awards, the HQ, if they get their staff back from furlough, would be processing things by the end of September. So John Foxwell, Steve Douglas, and some other members who are instituting a local awards panel will be trying to make sure that things are happening and that we invite people to nominate. But we also we're going to try and get something on the website so that it's nice and easy for people who think, oh, what about so and so? So yes, keep saying thank you to all these wonderful leaders.
Cool. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.